This is The Space Shot, episode 71 for July 24th, 2017. Amelia Earhart, Winglets, and Apollo 11. Hey everyone, welcome to The Space Shot, your daily space history, pop culture, and news fix. I'm John Molnix. Today I've got primarily some aeronautical history. First off, most modern commercial aircraft have winglets of some sort. Next time you're flying, look out your window and check out what is at the tip of your plane's wings. Chances are that you'll be looking at some type of winglet. Whether it's the scimitar-shaped ones that are on a lot of newer 737s, or a blended winglet like on the 787, most likely you're going to have an airplane with a winglet. Now, what does a winglet do? Its purpose is to reduce drag on the aircraft, thereby improving fuel efficiency. NASA tested wingtips for the first time on this day in 1979. The early test flights helped scientists look at how winglets performed in the real world so they could ascertain their flight characteristics. They found them to work as expected, and they had the benefit of improving fuel consumption by an average of 6.5% versus the 6% that was predicted in wind tunnel testing. That provided a nice fuel savings or range enhancer for all types of aircraft. It's easy to forget that NASA is tasked with performing aeronautical research, but it's the second part of NASA's name, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Ensuring that NASA gets funding isn't just about visiting Mars or imaging distant galaxies. NASA conducts research that affects how we live back here on Earth. Since we're on the subject of airplanes and flying, on this day in 1897, Amelia Earhart was born in Atchison, Kansas. Earhart was an aviation pioneer and the first female to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean. Her flight across the Atlantic was in a single-engine Lockheed Vega, and she managed to fly from Newfoundland to Northern Ireland in just under 15 hours. In addition to her first solo Atlantic flight, she was also the first person to fly solo from Hawaii to California. She later became the first president of the 99s, an organization dedicated to promoting female aviators. On June 1, 1937, Earhart and navigator Fred Noonan departed from Miami, Florida, on a flight that would take them around the world. Tragedy struck, however, on June 29th, when she, her navigator, and their Lockheed Electra disappeared outside of New Guinea. The mystery around her disappearance and subsequent decades-long search have not faded from the public imagination. As recently as this year, there was a History Channel documentary focused on finding the wreckage of the Electra that Earhart was piloting. Her disappearance is one of the highest-profile missing persons cases of the 20th century, and sadly, I find it unlikely that we will ever truly know what happened to them on that fateful day in 1937. Lastly, on July 24, 1969, the Apollo 11 command module splashed down in the Pacific Ocean after departing from lunar orbit. The Columbia capsule carried Armstrong, Collins, Aldrin, and the lunar samples that were gathered during the first moon landing back to Earth. After splashdown, the three astronauts were quarantined for 21 days since it was not known if they would bring back any contaminants from the lunar surface that would pose a threat to the people that were around them. If you have ideas for the show, reach out to me. You can find me just about anywhere at John Molnix. I'd love to chat. Share this episode with your friends, family, or anyone that enjoys podcasts. Let me know what you think of the show by leaving a rating in iTunes. It takes just a minute, and it makes a huge difference by helping even more people find the show. I truly appreciate all of you listening, so thank you very much. Tomorrow, we go to Mars and take an EVA with the Soviets. I'm John Molnix, and I'll catch you on the flip side.